My negative thinking used to be so programmed in me that all I had to do was walk down the street and pass somebody, and I would think a very derogatory thought about them, like, you know, the B word, or what an a-hole. Like, that would be what I immediately thought about this random person on the street, because that's just how automatic the negative thoughts were at that point in my life. Hi, this is Andrea Schulman again, and in today's quick law of attraction video, we're going to talk about how to stop being negative, and I'm going to offer you 3 very powerful suggestions on how to do just that. But first, if you're new to my work, please make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, because I do put out new law of attraction inspired videos like this one every single week. But let's go ahead and get into how to stop being negative. Now, the first thing to understand before we dive into these tips is that if we're in the habit of being negative, these are just unconscious reactions. We are just automatically reacting to our environment in an unconscious and negative way. It's automatic. Okay? And so because it is an unconscious and reactive thing, if we want to eliminate negativity and replace it instead with positive thinking, that's going to require conscious preparation. And that leads me right into my first tip on how to stop being negative. And it has everything to do with giving yourself the best odds possible to stay positive. And this tip is all about attending to your needs. We've all heard about how it's easy to get hangry when you're hungry, or that little kids get cranky when they're tired. Well, the same is true for all of us. When our needs aren't being met, it is so much easier to react negatively. And so one of the very best things you can do to stop being negative on a consistent basis is to be vigilant about attending to your needs. Make sure you get enough sleep. Make sure that you get enough water. Make sure that you're fed. Make sure that you have entertainment, that you have time to be around loved ones. Make sure that your needs are attended to, because if your needs are attended to, it puts you in a much better position to be prepared to be positive rather than negative. The second powerful tip I have on how to stop being negative is to change the programming that you are watching and the programming that you're listening to. Much of the programming that I personally exposed myself to when I was very negative was very negative in nature. I was a huge fan of mobster movies, so movies about violence and killing. I listened to very angry music. So these are a few things to be mindful of. What kind of movies are you watching? What kind of programming are you listening to? Consciously select things that are positive in nature, and it will have an impact on how you think. And I have a quick question for you. If you are a student of the law of attraction, have you eliminated any programming from your diet since starting to learn about the law of attraction? Are there any certain things that you don't watch or listen to anymore because you could tell that they were having a negative impact on you? If so, do me a favor and drop them below in the comments. That way viewers of this video can look through and get a gauge of what kind of programming might it be best to leave behind if they really want to think positively in the future. Now, my third powerful tip on how to stop being negative is all about making excuses. And a lot of times we think of excuses as bad things, but when it comes to changing how you think, making excuses can be actually a really great thing. And what I mean by this is every time you catch yourself making a negative judgment, like automatically assuming that someone's an a-hole or automatically assuming that someone's screwing you over, as soon as you become aware of it, make 3 conscious, positive excuses for what's going on. So for instance, if I automatically catch myself making a judgment that this guy over here is a jerk, I'll immediately go through and think of 3 positive excuses for why he's behaving in a way that makes me feel that way. You know, like maybe he was up late last night with his kids taking care of them. Or maybe he donated blood this morning and so he's not really feeling himself. Or maybe he's having a really bad day because he's a teacher and he has some students that are suffering and he's experiencing some stress because he's so concerned about his students. Now, I know none of those things may actually be true. In fact, none of them probably are even true. But the trick about this is about training yourself to realize that you don't really know why things are going the way that they are. And even though we've unconsciously judged something negatively, does not mean that that's the reason why what's going on is going on. In fact, there's an infinite number of reasons why anything could be going on, and a lot of them are positive. So every time you catch yourself making a negative judgment, just in your mind, make up 3 positive excuses for why that's going the way that it is. And what will happen is you'll start to steer more positively rather than negatively. Now, if you like these 3 tips, I do have an additional tip that I've created in a video a while back on dealing with negative thought spirals. So if you happen to see that your thoughts are just getting more and more negative, you may really enjoy watching that video in addition to this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and link up that video in the description if you'd like to go ahead and watch that video now. I really hope that you've enjoyed these 3 tips on how to stop being negative. Coming into a more positive frame of mind is very important when it comes to applying the law of attraction. And if you're new to my work, I would also love to invite you to take my law of attraction test. I've designed a test that will help you see how the law of attraction works in real time. And if you'd like to take that test now, again, look in the description for a link. Again, thanks so much for watching this video on how to stop being negative. Have a great day. Bye-bye.